is spectacular. This is spectacular. We have debris thousands of feet in the air. There are flash fires on all the high-tension wires. We're about 3/4 of a mile from the actual touchdown at this time. This is really spectacular.
And for many who saw the tornado approach them, it was a nightmare that came to life. Complete coverage on this special edition of News 11.
Now, from the action center of the Twin Cities, News 11 with Paul Majors, Diana Pierce, Tom Ryther on sports, and meteorologist Paul Douglas.
Good evening. Nature's nightmare hits the northern Twin Cities suburbs.
A series of twisters swept the area, leaving behind a path of destruction.
And our Sky 11 helicopter brought you the first pictures of the tornadoes live during News 11 at 5. A bird's eye view of the tornado was chilling as the storm ripped apart trees and took down power lines, snapping cables and causing small fires. The tornado ripped through wooded areas east of the Mississippi River, causing trees to topple like toothpicks. The storm also took the roof off a North Suburban trucking terminal, and some semi-trailers were damaged during the storm that went through the metro area in less than an hour. Folks on the ground could see the tornado coming, a skipping twister that would touch down, skip in the air, then touch down again. At 4:50, the first touchdown occurred at 85th and Noble in Brooklyn Park. 21 minutes later, at 5:11, it was sighted again at 79th and Main in Fridley. 2 minutes later, another sighting at University and 78th in Spring Lake Park. Finally, at 5:23 p.m., the tornado lifted off and left the area. And then, 10 minutes after liftoff, there was yet another very brief touchdown, this one in Blaine.
The latest information we have is that 8 occupied homes were damaged. Some vacant homes were also hit.
Dennis Stoffer is in the area affected right now. He has a live report for us from Brooklyn Park. Dennis?
Paul, Diana, I'm near 87th and Noble in Brooklyn Park at a new housing development known as the Highlands of Edinburgh. It was in this general area that the tornado first hit, as you said. And you can see from this overturned pickup truck behind me that it hit with considerable force. Witnesses say it was a storm that snuck up on them.
We didn't hear anything. All we saw was the wind start picking up. Sand was hitting us in the eye. We looked over and saw a big wind tunnel, so to speak. It was taking all the dirt from the ground. Debris was flying every which way.
Houses here range in value from $170,000 to $300,000. 11 of them were damaged. 8 of them occupied, the rest still under construction. The storm broke windows, blew off roofs, and turned walls into kindling. But its path was so narrow that many people stood and looked on as it passed by.
We actually watched it take up this house. I got pictures of it taking up Cellutex and siding and 2x4s, and I don't know, you know, it was just happening so fast.
My 5th grader was shaking. He was really scared. I sent him to the basement, but then it was too late. It was all over because it was so fast.
Now, I spoke with one of the builders who's developing this area, and he estimates the damage at least $250,000 just for the homes right around here. The police have cordoned off the area. They're letting people in and out only that have passes. They're concerned about looting, but so far they say they've had no problems. Paul, Diana?
All right, Dennis, thank you very much. There was also damage on the east side of the Mississippi River. Kevin McDowell has a report on that.
We had called the neighbors from our folks' house, and they had told us that all of our trees were gone. The house was still standing. So when we came home and saw, how much of the trees were gone and stuff, it was kind of a shock.
Next door, George Marvin was home, and he watched as the winds tossed this huge aspen into his pool.
It just scared the hell out of me. It was, I've never been through anything like that.
Further down the road, uprooted trees slammed into this garage. Now, 6 blocks east of where we're standing sits the 130-acre Springbrook Nature Preserve. There wasn't an acre left untouched by this tornado. Acres and acres of aspen split in two. And one of the employees hid in the main building's basement and describes what she heard.
We started hearing loud noises. We started hearing like a battering ram was something was pounding at our windows, and it sounded like something was coming in, and the doors were opening and shutting, and this went on for about 10 minutes, and then it was completely silent.
And that was Kevin McDowell reporting from Coon Rapids. The intense heat just prior to the storm caused 2 freeways to blow up tonight. The worst was at Interstate 35E at Little Canada Road. The entire southbound roadway was impassable, and highway patrolmen had to redirect traffic onto the shoulders of the road. No motorists were injured when the highway buckled. At a second road, moments later, buckled in Burnsville. Interstate 35W near Buck Hill Road was only partially blocked. No accidents were reported. Between 800 and 1,000 homes are without power tonight, and NSP is saying it may be morning before power is restored in some neighborhoods. Crews are working tonight in Brooklyn Park, Coon Rapids, Brooklyn Center, and parts of northern Hennepin County. Damages to lines at 85th and Zane are the primary cause. Crews will wait until morning and better skies to begin the repair there. And Northwestern Bell reports phone lines were jammed for nearly an hour this afternoon. Folks calling others for information mostly. Only a few reports of phone outages were called in. Supervisors are checking out the complaints tonight and say they'll send repair crews out tomorrow morning after the power is back on.
At about 4:55 this evening, Sky 11 pilot Max Mesmer and photographer Tom Impey flew the helicopter right beside the twister.
And that crew joins us live for what must have been an incredible experience. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. First of all, congratulations. We've had hundreds of phone calls of people who watched at 5 and said it was the most spectacular footage they had seen. First of all, I'd like to know how close was Sky 11 to that twister?
Well, I think we got as close as about a quarter mile. It was somewhat difficult to determine distance because we were just focused on the actual funnel, but I think we got as close as about a quarter mile at times.
Max, there was also a lot of debris in the air. I mean, you're trying to watch the tornado, you're trying to watch the debris. All of that at once? What's going on?
Yes, I think that I was more concerned about the flying debris than I was about anything else. I decided that the tornado, the funnel cloud itself seemed rather stationary, and I figured that I could outrun it, but the debris that was lifted thousands of feet in the air by the funnel cloud gave me some reason to be concerned.
And we're seeing that footage right now once again.
Tom Impey, these are your pictures, a rare opportunity for a photographer. What was going through your mind?
It was an incredible sight. It doesn't happen very often that you can never get any pictures as marvelous as this. It was amazing to have something like that going on right in front of me.
Was that dominating your thoughts? Were you nervous?
My first thought was of my wife and child. The second thought was of the spectacular pictures.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Amazing. Max, one other question before we go away. If you can pull that camera out and get a two-shot of both of them as we do that. Max, how fast was that tornado moving? Do you have any idea? Were you able to gauge it from your instruments?
Well, I have tracked the tornado for probably 20-25 minutes, and miraculously it didn't move more than about a quarter mile the entire time I was tracking it, and it remained in a wooded area just west of Highway 47, and what I was afraid of, that it would continue on a westerly course and cross the highway and into populated areas, but fortunately it did not move at all. It stayed within about a quarter of a mile on and off the entire 20-25 minutes. We were all very lucky.
Yes. Anyway, a job well done by
Thanks,
both of you.
gentlemen.
Max, your flying skills, and Tom, your photographic skills.
Well, thank you very much.
Great job.
Well, two Twin Cities area men are lucky to be alive tonight after a very close call with Mother Nature. News 11's Janet Mason has the story of two boaters struck by lightning.
What started out as a pleasant day of sailing on White Bear Lake ended in near tragedy for two local men. The two sailors were on a catamaran when they were struck by a bolt of lightning. John Nielsen, who was at the back of the boat, told doctors tonight the bolt threw him 3 feet onto the canvas deck.
I had my hand wrapped, it's fine now. Before, immediately after it happened, I couldn't hardly close my arm or fist or anything, and my bicep, my forearm hurt very badly.
Nielsen's friend Dan Krause says the lightning apparently hit the water and then traveled through the boat's rudder.
Sky turned white, felt the current going through us and kind of stunned us.
Both men are listed in good condition tonight at the St. Paul Ramsey Medical Center. Neither had burns on their skin, but doctors are keeping them under observation tonight to make sure there are no internal injuries. Lightning can cause major damage to the heart and other organs.
How are you feeling right now?
Lucky to be alive.
Krause and Nielsen are also lucky they survived with no apparent major injuries. Janet Mason, News 11, St. Paul.
And for anyone who needs a place to stay or assistance, the Red Cross is ready to help. The telephone number to call is 871-7676. Once again, that number is 871-7676.